Well, this robot can basically do a lot of stuff. It can do machine learning. It's a great way to learn how to program. So what we're going to do is we're going to swap over to the desk cam. Let's go in and take a look at that program. This is a simple line following program. At the top here, we've got include a servo library, include servo.h. Then we create the left servo, we create the right servo. These are stop values for the little servo motors. So what you'll see over here in the small screen, you'll see a constant. It's a threshold value. The threshold value here is to do with the level of light reaching the light sensors. So this robot has a system of sensors over there. You can see them. These are the light sensors. And that's how the robot follows the line. Now, if we look in void setup, you'll see in the setup between these two brackets, starting there and ending there, we attach the left motor, servo motor left, attach, servo motor right, attached to 10 and 11. Then, the next thing we have here is we have a middle value and a middle value. So we've got a left middle value and a right middle value. And if we look at the robot itself, we will see that we've got the sensors over here. I'm just turning this up that way. We've got sensors on the left of the robot and sensors on the right. But we're only using these two middle values here to follow the line. So that's what this stuff here represents. That is an integer type variable that will store a value. Then when we go into the loop, this is where the program happens. So what happens here is in between, in this loop, void loop, it's going to do an analog reading of the left sensor, and it's going to do an analog reading of the right sensor. Then, once it's done those readings, it uses a comparator. In other words, it's doing comparisons. So it says if the left middle value is below the threshold and the right middle value is below the threshold, then, just going to move that out the way there, both middle sensors are over black. Okay. And then over here, basically, it says if the left middle value and the right middle value are below the threshold, that means both middle sensors are over the black, and that means the robot should drive straight, which is what those values over there represent. And then there's a delay for 10 milliseconds. The next lot of code here is where the robot checks if the right middle value is below the threshold, in other words, the sensor is over the black, and the left middle value is over the threshold, that means the left middle sensor is over white. That means that the robot is veering off the line. So we have to correct to the right. And then we have another condition, which is else if, and now it's the opposite situation where the left middle value is below the threshold value. In other words, it's over black, and the right middle value is over the threshold value. In other words, the right middle sensor is over white, and then the robot must correct to the left. So that is in fact how this robot is working. Basically, what's happening here is this robot is using those three possibilities. It's either over the line, in which case the robot keeps on driving straight, or the robot has moved a little bit to the one side and it corrects and moves to the other side, or the robot is over to the other side, it corrects to the other side. What I want to look at next is a different way of following a line, which is where we follow a straight line, but the line has 90-degree turns in it. Let's flip over the maze. So what you will have noticed is the robot can no longer follow the line because the angle of the turns is too steep. So this is the more complicated code. Let's try uploading that to the robot. You'll see there's a progress bar over there and it says compiling sketch. Let's go have a look. I'm going to create a line. You're welcome to email me if you want to get a hold of one of these textbooks. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put a line on the back of the textbook so we can check what the line following sensors are seeing. Like so. I'm going to put a piece of line. This is ordinary electrical insulation tape. So what we're going to do now is we'll just check that this robot is connected. So we download this code here to the robot. So what you're seeing on the screen now is you're seeing the values coming out of these line sensors. So let's swap cameras here. These are LEDs here which make light. The light then bounces off the tabletop and reflects into these. These look like LEDs over here, but they're not. They're actually phototransistors. They receive that light. And we'll go back to here. And in fact, we need this one, which is not being shared. So let's go new share and this screen here. Right, so what you're seeing there is you're seeing values coming out of the sensor system and being read into the serial monitor. And when I put the robot over, when all sensors are over black, so let's line this up. So now notice how all of the sensors are shining on the black there. Now, if all the sensors were shining onto the white, there would obviously be more light being reflected up into the sensor system. So this is how the robot follows the line. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at what light values we get. I'm going to remove a piece of tape over here. Right, so we're going to have the robot in this position where all sensors are over white. Then we're going to have the robot over the line where just the middle sensors are over the black. And then we're going to have the robot over the line where all the sensors are in fact over the black, like that. And then we're going to look at the different values. So let's go back here and go in there. So what you're looking at here is this value is the sensor on the one side. Those values there are the middle values. You can also see them over here. And this is scrolling, it's just refreshing the whole time. So it's checking and checking and rechecking. So you can choose which one of these to look at. But what you'll see is now I've moved the robot that all the sensors are over white, and you'll see those number values are quite high. You'll see those values are actually pretty high. When I put the robot that everything is over black, you'll see all of these values drop down. So the range here is up in the 800-900s when the sensors are over white. When I move the sensors over black in the middle, you'll see just the middle values drop down. And when I put them all over the line. So that relates back to how the robot follows the line. If you look at the code, so if we go and share screen, so there are the sensors: left far sensor, left near sensor, left center sensor, right center sensor, right near sensor, right far sensor. This code was sent to me the other day by a student. Wanted me to check the code. So I'm just going to go here, check there, that's all looking good. And let's download this code to the robot. And you'll see here, this is our communications cable. And let's stop that. And let's download the program to the robot. So what you'll notice, it's done uploading. So let's go back to the layers. I hope that was useful for you. I'm going to put that code out there on the website. So robotscience.co.za. There's announcements up here. If you click on that, it takes you through to another page, which scroll down here and look out for this. Click for course notes and teaching resources page where these Zoom sessions are here. We've already put notes up here from this Zoom session. So there's 2 videos you can watch on YouTube. And if you click over here, you'll see there's a textbook page. So what I'll do is I'll share the programs we looked at today. If there's any suggestions or something you're particularly interested in, you're welcome to email me.